Now, in your statement, you say that your handler was Warrant Officer Mabizela. Do you stand by that statement? There are 6 different references in your statement to Warrant Officer Mabizela as your handler.
Yes, Mabizela, Mabuza. I understand it. I don't want to incriminate myself.
Sorry, you said Mabizela Mabuza.
I don't want to incriminate myself.
You don't want to incriminate yourself. Well, the man who you describe as your co-handler was adamant that you were never handled by Warrant Officer Mabizela, only by Warrant Officer Mabuza. What's your response to that?
Let me not incriminate myself, Chair.
And the man who you describe as your co-handler was also adamant that he wasn't your co-handler. He said he just played a supervisory role in relation to Warrant Officer, a minor supervisory role in relation to Warrant Officer Mabuza. Do you want to respond to that?
I don't want to incriminate myself.
He said the primary supervisory role in relation to Warrant Officer Mabuza was played by a Colonel Duma who was later promoted to Brigadier Duma. Do you want to respond to that?
I don't want to incriminate myself.
And he also said that Colonel Duma was involved as the supervisor of your handler, Warrant Officer Mabuza, right from your first alleged meeting with the man you describe as your co-handler. Do you have a response to that?
I'm not going to incriminate myself.
Can you explain why there is no mention of Colonel Duma in your statement?
I'm not going to implicate myself. He was Brigadier Duma, actually. Let me not incriminate myself.
Well, he was later promoted to Brigadier Duma, but at the beginning we are told he was Colonel Duma. Can you say why there's no mention of him in your statement?
Let me not incriminate myself.
Can you say why there's no mention of Warrant Officer Mabuza in your statement?
Mabuza and Mabizela is almost the same name. They refer to one person, but let me not implicate myself.
So if I understand you to say that Mabuza and Mabizela are the same person.
Let me not incriminate myself, Chair.
A person who was your co-handler said he introduced you with Colonel Duma, Warrant Officer, and Warrant Officer Mabuza to General Sabia. Do you have a comment on that?
I'm not going to incriminate myself.
Now, Warrant Officer Mabuza is dead. Are you aware, or do you want to, can you confirm that?
It's true. May his soul rest in peace.
Brigadier Duma, who used to be Colonel Duma, is also dead. Can you confirm that?
May his soul rest in peace. No, it's true, he has passed on.
General Mfazi, who you say in your statement is the first person to whom your handlers reported, has also passed away.
All of them, but let me not incriminate myself.
Mr. Mogotsi, just so that I understand your answer, when you say all of them, I don't want to incriminate myself, are you saying all of them have passed on?
That's correct.
Or is that what you're saying? All right, thank you.
Chair, you know, when I was here, I told the commission how a man was killed. The evidence leader does not want to ask me things that I presented. How a man bought a property for 100 million, put it in his daughter's name. Those questions are not asked. Thank you, Chair.
Yes, Mr. Chairperson.
You see, Mr. Mogotsi, there are only 2 people who may have had anything to do with your operations in crime intelligence and who are still alive. The one is the person you describe as your co-handler, and the other is General Sabia. Is there anybody else in crime intelligence who may have had something to do with your operations who is still alive?
I'm not going to incriminate myself, Chair.
Well, the two people who you have identified as being involved in your alleged role as a crime intelligence operative are first General Sabia, and he denies ever discussing any police matters with you. Can you comment on that?
I don't comment, I don't want to implicate myself.
And then your co-handler testified to us that he had very little to do with your operational activities. That was all handled by Warrant Officer Mabuza and Brigadier Duma. And he can't account for any, he has no knowledge of any reports that you gave to Warrant Officer Mabuza or Brigadier Duma. That was his evidence. Do you want to comment on that?
No comment.
You see, Mr. Mogotsi, and I'm genuinely wanting to point something out here which may be to your assistance. It's not just Mr. Karim who is throwing you under the bus. It's everyone in SAPS who has ever dealt with you who's also throwing you under the bus. And you need to think about that in relation to your answers.
Yeah, but I never fell under the bus.
Sorry?
You
never yes.
Let me not incriminate myself, Chair.
Let's look at your alleged crime intelligence investigation. What were you told to investigate in relation to crime intelligence?
I'm not going to implicate myself, Chair.
Sorry, you're not going to?
To incriminate myself.
I see. Who was the target of your investigation into crime intelligence?
I'm not going to incriminate myself, Chair.
Mr. Mogotsi, you've criticized me for not following up your alleged leads in relation to crime intelligence properties. Who tasked you to follow those leads?
Let me not incriminate myself. You know, Chair, the gentleman who seated here, he came to the lawyers with a document saying, Mr. Chattel say you must check this to be presented here before you made a ruling. Senior Chattelson knew he was going to come and ask me a question because he sent this gentleman to come and see my lawyers and say, you say you must prepare yourself. Let me not incriminate myself, Chair.
Yes, Mr. Mogotsi, to set the record straight, between Advocate Hasim and ourselves, we agreed that we would both prepare to ask questions to you and that I would take responsibility for preparing if there were any additional documents that had to be put before you. That is the context in which that document was presented to your lawyers. If the recusal application had gone your way, Advocate Hasim would be here asking the same questions as I'm asking.
Thank you, Chair.
You understand the point?
Yes, very well. Thank you,
So your testimony would have been heard regardless of the outcome. If the application had been granted, Ms. Hasim would have been the one questioning you now. So those documents would have been relevant.
Either way.
Either way, yes.
Thank you, Chair.
Yeah.
Mr. Mogotsi, what did you discover in your investigations into crime intelligence?
I'm not going to incriminate myself, Chair.
Why did you criticize me for not pursuing leads that you allegedly offered me in relation to crime intelligence properties if you weren't prepared to testify to that for fear of self-incrimination?
Chair, when I came here with evidence, in everything I said, this is two questions you asked me. My ID number and the matter in the Northwest Health Department. Very relevant. The narrative was to prove that I'm a liar. Everyone, they know I'm a liar. None of the things that I submitted or anything that I wanted to have been corroborated were never entertained till today. Let me not incriminate myself, Chair.
Did you report your discoveries to General Sabia?
I'm not going to incriminate myself or General Sabia.
Did you report your discoveries to General Khan?
I don't know General Khan. I never worked with General Khan, and I'm not going to incriminate myself.
The man you describe as your co-handler says that he works with General Khan and regards General Khan as his close friend. Are you aware of that?
That is something that I should not incriminate myself with, Chair.
Let's look at the documents that you wanted me to investigate. Can I ask you to go to page 64 of the evidence bundle, sorry, of the exhibit, of the annexure bundle. It's annexure BM 7.23.
Six-four.
6.4. BM 7.23. Do you have the document?
I do, thank you.
And if I understand it correctly, it is an image of a route from one property which I understand you to say is a property that was irregularly purchased by crime intelligence to a new property where the business on the old property now operates. Is that correct?
I'm not going to incriminate myself, Chair.
I see. Where did you get this image that you sent to Mr. Matlala on the 2nd of January at 11:57 in the morning?
I'm not going to incriminate myself, Chair.
Let me ask a follow-up question. Why did you send this to Mr. Matlala?
I'm not going to incriminate myself.
Thank you.
Let's go to page 65. Same, the next page. I'm just going to go page by page here. And you see there at 11:57:04, there is a photograph of a brick wall and a house behind it that you also sent to Mr. Matlala. Is this a picture of the property that we previously discussed?
I'm not going to incriminate myself.
Why did you send this picture to Mr. Matlala?
I'm not going to incriminate myself, Chair.
And from whom did you acquire this picture?
I was going to say a source, but because I don't want to incriminate myself, Chair.
You say you were going to say a source. Can you give us details of the source? I don't want you to say out loud because I don't want to expose the identity of the source, but I would like to get the name of the source so that we can follow it further.
Even if I was prepared to incriminate myself, all the names I've given you, even one man is in hospital, has been departmentally charged. Every person I mentioned here, in camera between me and you, they've been called. But the informant, I know, I still repeat, the investigating officer of the informant, the co-handler, and the handler of the informant who was killed, I know them. Chair, evidence leader doesn't want those names. of the people who are still in SAPS who can corroborate. Let me not incriminate myself.
Sorry, the investigating officer, the informant, you've never given us that information.
You never asked for them.
No, but I understood your first answer to be every name that you have given to us has left somebody dead. So you will admit that you have never given us the name of the investigating officer of the informant.
It's what I'm saying, Chair, that there was no interest from the side of the evidence to say, but you say this man was killed like this. Who's the co-handler? Who was the handler? Because they're there from this brigadier, the colonel, and the IO. I know them. We never asked them.
Mr. Mogotsi, your version in relation to the man who was killed, who you described as Warrant Officer Mabizela, and who we did investigate. Warrant Officer Mabizela was not killed. Warrant Officer Mabizela was imprisoned.
Mabuza.
You didn't call him Mabuza, you called him Mabizela. Warrant Officer Mabizela is alive and well and in prison. The only Warrant Officer Mabizela in crime intelligence, who has been in crime intelligence over this period. You didn't give us the name of Warrant Officer Mabuza, so we couldn't investigate Warrant Officer Mabuza. You told us of your co-handler and you gave us his name. We have spoken to your co-handler. Your co-handler has testified in camera here. You have given us no other names.
Chair, I gave you another name. I gave you Major General Lushaba. I said he took a woman to the house. A case was opened. He got arrested for that matter. He was never called here. He's the CFO of the crime intelligence. He was never called here.
You're giving... let me correct myself. You have given us the name of Major General Lushaba as a target, not as someone to go to investigate, to support your allegations.
Okay, let me not incriminate myself.
Let's go to page 65. At the bottom of the page, and going over to 66, there is a salary record of or part of a SAPS salary record. Where did you get this screen with a salary inquiry on it?
I remember very well. Let me not incriminate myself.
Why did you send it to Mr. Matlala?
I'm not going to incriminate myself, Chair.
Let's go to the next page, 66. There at 11:57:05, you sent to Mr. Matlala company details of what you allege to be the company in which the crime intelligence property is housed. How did you acquire these details?
I'll just request the addresses of this property not to be displayed.
Sorry, the addresses of this property?
I was just saying I hope they are not there. But let me not incriminate myself on this. And the name of the person who the property was transferred to is also here.
Yes, you have an unredacted bundle, so you know what we're talking about. The public and the screen behind you only has redacted bundles.
Thank you.
If you were worried about disclosing this information, why did you send it to Mr. Matlala?
I'm not going to incriminate myself.
Let's go to the foot of the page. There? At the 17:57:05 WhatsApp, you send what looks like a screenshot of a business saying where they've moved from, or where they've moved to.
That's correct.
That was the business that used to reside at the property that you say was purchased by crime intelligence. Is that not right?
I'm not going to incriminate myself, Chair.
Where did you get that screenshot?
You know, Chair, I so wish during that adjournment, SC could have asked that question. I can give you the name of the person to come here who got the receipts, proof of payments of all these illegal purchases. I have.
Why don't you write it down on a piece of paper and...
It was exactly, remember I wrote the name here, even the chair had to give an order because it went out. But it should be done differently if ever I'm prepared to incriminate myself next time.
Well, I'm inviting you to write down the name of the source of each one of these documents that you WhatsApp to Mr. Matlala.
No, Chair,
If the insinuation is that something given privately to us was leaked by us, there is no truth to that at all. We keep the documents to ourselves, and for the record, we have never leaked a single one of those documents.
Okay, Chair.
The only name that I understand you to have given to us in confidence was the name of your alleged co-handler. And that name has been...
It was not shown by the Commission. It just leaked to the media here. The chair also gave an order that it should not be published. I appreciate that. But I'm saying, through the lawyer, I can give you the name of person who have receipts, proof of payments, who, like your government procurement, who authorized, who signed, who approved. He has those things, but maybe that's what should be asked so that we can give to you.